So last class, we have discussed about license. And we have discussed what exactly a license indicates and what is the use and what type of licenses are available in Salesforce. And what is the significant role of each and every type of license we have discussed, and how many free licenses has been given by Salesforce by default as part of a free developer organization we have discussed. And upon creating a new user, okay, so upon creating a new user, not only the designing the license, we can introduce. Okay, so here is the topic. Now, yesterday we have discussed up to here, right? Up to here. That means this is my organization. Okay, inside my organization, I have a 5 Salesforce licenses. 5 Salesforce licenses. One license is equal to 1 user. How do I know that how many users can I create it?
Depend on license.
Depending on the number of license that we can see in the company information. Right? So let's assume that right now I have a 2 licenses, or right now I have a 5 licenses, 5 Salesforce licenses. I have created a 5 user. I have created a 5 users. Each user will have a license of Salesforce. Now, so what is the role of the license here? What is the role of license here?
The set of features that can be accessible by the user.
Set of features or group of the functionality that can be accessed by the user. So in case if you have to connect with the real time, okay, if you have a license for the two-wheeler, you can drive only the two-wheeler. You cannot drive the four-wheeler. In case if you have a four-wheeler license, which is a local license, you can drive the car only in India. And in case if you have an international license, you can drive the car wherever in the universe, right? You can drive in US or India, wherever you go, you can drive it if you have international driving licenses. Same thing here, the license. So based on the license, Salesforce license, platform license, community license, that license will decide what kind of a access you can have, it, what kind of a data that you can access inside the Salesforce, how long you can go to the view the information in the Salesforce in my organization. Now let's assume that I have a four-wheeler license only for the India. Okay. I have a car which is very good. Chef, there is no problem with the car. Okay, assume that I have a sports car. Okay, if I have a sports car and I have a driving license. Okay, I have a sports car, I have a driving license. That means, can I drive my sports car with 200 kilometers within the city? Can I drive? This user has a license and this user has a sports car. Because the person has a sports car, can he drive or can this person drive a car with the speed of 200 kilometers within the city? No, he cannot.
No, madam.
He cannot, because city has a limitations. City has a limitations, and limitations also based on the road. If it is an area of the school's children, they will say that they will go in 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers. If it is a highway road, they will say to go in the 80 kilometers or 100 kilometers. If it is within the city, then they will say that max 60 kilometers, you have to maintain the speed. So every road will have a limitations. So I cannot go with the whatever the kilometer that I'm expecting because I have a sports car and I have a license, I can go whatever the speed. It's not possible. In case if I'm going with that high speed, there is a person who is monitoring here. There is a person who is monitoring it. Who is this person? This person is the police. Monitoring the everybody, how much speed they are going on. Could be a police, could be a camera, could be some mechanism. Okay. So there is a something here which is monitoring the person, how much speed they are going on that road. Okay, if they are crossing the limit of the speed, then this person, whoever is the police is there, that person will charge base. First, this person will come and check whether you have a license or not. If it is a license, then if he is going with the 200 kilometer, they will charge it, right? So that means this person is controlling everybody. This person is whoever is the mediator. Assume that this person is a mediator. So this mediator is controlling everybody to go in expected speed. To go in expected speed. Okay, now back to the Salesforce. Okay, assume that there is the same thing is happening here. Because I have a license, user can go ahead and make a changes to the Apex classes, LWC and Aura and some account cases or opportunity, because this person has access to everything. Everybody has access to everything. That means this person should have access to everything, right? So tomorrow they will say that, okay, after some time, maybe 1 year, 2 years, they said that, okay, I have a user 1 and user 2. These two users should have only access to the standard objects. Only have the access to the standard object. I do not want these two users touching the custom objects. And another two users, user 3 and user 4, should have access to only the custom object. They should not have access to the standard objects. And coming to the user 5, they will say that user 5 should have access to standard and custom, because they will be monitoring everything. This person will be monitoring everything, right? So they are going to divide it. Now they already have a license. Everybody has a license to view everything in the Salesforce. Right now, Salesforce came up saying that no, this person should have only the standard, these two persons should have only the custom, and this user 5 should have a standard and custom. Now, how can we restrict the access? Now I'm getting entire access, all the access I'm getting it. Now I have to break the something. That means I need to have somebody to monitor, similar like a police. I need somebody to monitor here, saying that what kind of a access, what kind of a data are you viewing inside my organization, So we need some mediator. We need a mediator between the license and user. I need some mediator between the license and user. So that mediator in Salesforce is called as a profile. Profile is the mediator. Assume that here we have a profile 1, which is giving only the standard Salesforce access. Standard object access we are going to provide to the user 1 and user 2. And this profile 2 only will give the access to the custom objects. Only to the access to the custom object. Now profile 3 will have access to the standard as well as the custom. Both will be there. Both access will be providing to this. Now this is the mediator here between the license and user. Okay, mediator will decide what kind of access should I give. So if I have to, so for example, we have a TV at our house, right? And for the TV, we need an antenna top of our building. So antenna will have everything. the antenna will be able to capture all the channels. Antenna will not decide what channel that I should see, right? Antenna will receive all the signals of all the channels. But when it comes to the at home, my at home will have something called as a box, right? Package box will be there. So that box will decide what package should I see the channels inside the TV, right? Antenna will not decide. Antenna will get all the signals of every channel. But when it comes to the within the house, I have a box. Okay, some box will be there that will decide what kind of a package, and based on that package the box will show us those channels only. It will not show other channels, right? Same like here profile from Salesforce org. I'm receiving all the licenses here. I'm receiving all the licenses. There is no restriction. License is not restricting me. I'm receiving everything from the licenses. But in between, I have some box which is called as a profile. Profile is going to decide it based on the access on the different thing. It is going to decide it what access this user should have, because these users are using this box, and what this user should have based on the profile. They are going to view the specific object or specific information that they can see, right? So between the license and user, we have something called profile. Profile is going to show us what kind of a permissions that user should be able to view. What kind of a permission user should be able to see will be decided by the profile. Now, what is the profile here? What is the profile?
A set of permissions that user should have. Set of permissions.
Profile is nothing but a component. First of all, we will say this is a component, right? This is a component which contains a group of permissions. Group of permissions can be assigned to the one or more users inside the organization. Inside the organization, one or more, we can assign a group of permission to one or more users inside the organization. Now, by using this profile, we can grant or restrict permissions on all the features. All the features available in the organization. What is that means? Example, applications, tabs, objects, fields, Apex classes, right? Coding, everything. Right? That profile will decide or restrict or grant the permissions on all the features that are available inside the organization. So we are creating a users, right? So while creating the user, each user should be associated with a license. Each user should be associated with a license and profile. Each user associated with the license and profile. If they do not have any one of them, then we cannot create a user. So that means, first of all, user to enter into my organization, I need a license. If I have one user who want to enter into my organization, first of all, they need a license. And once they enter into the org, they need to have a profile. So license and profile both needs to have it together. License and profile both needs to have it. In order to create a profile, I need to have a license. So both should be there. If any one of them is not there, we cannot create a user. If I have a profile, but I do not have a license, I cannot create it. I cannot create a user. Now, profile is acting as a mediator between the user and the license or organization. Profile is acting as a mediator between the user and the license, or I can say organization. Whereas, if the organization provides the full permission, then the profile can control the access to the user. Can control the access to the user. Right? So where can we see the profile? Where can we see the profile? We can see the profile, all the profiles, information will be all the profile information we can see inside the profile object. We have something called profile object. Profile object. Each profile is associated with the license, but with the license type, we can have multiple profile type, right? Now here, this is what? This is the license org. On top level, I have a license org. Then we have a profile, right? Then we have a user. License org, profile, user. License to profile. License to profile. What is the relation between the license to profile? License to profile, what is the relation? One license can be connected to the multiple profiles.
Look up relation.
One to many relationship.
One to many.
And profile to user?
One to one.
Why one to one? Profile to user.
Okay.
The
One to
profile.
many. Yeah.
One to many.
Many. Yeah.
And back user to profile?
One to one.
One to one. Back profile to license? How many profiles can be connected to license?
One. One to one.
Right? So this is the reverse way is one to one. One user can be connected to the one profile is connected to the one license. But these are the relations we have. Now coming to the more in-depth of the profile. So profile is nothing but a mediator component between the user and organization. Whenever the organization is giving the full permission to the help of permission with the help of the license, the profile will control the visibility. Suppose when the user is trying to get seeing some additional features forcefully, then profile will restrict it. Profile will restrict, saying that you do not have a permission. No. Profiles are two types of profiles. We have two types of profiles. One is standard profile and second one is custom profile. Standard profile and the second one is custom profile. Standard profile. What is a standard profile? Standard profile is nothing but standard profile. Standard profiles are, these are the ready-made profiles. These are ready-made profiles, or I can say predefined profiles. Predefined profiles provided by Salesforce. By default. Provided by Salesforce by default. They will be provided as soon as the org is created. They will be providing some profiles, which are the standard profiles or ready-made profiles or predefined profiles. Standard profiles can be editable up to some extent. Standard profiles can be editable up to some extent. That means I will not have a full access to edit the standard profile. Some extent, that means I do not have a full access. These are not fully editable. Right? We do not have a full access to edit everything on the standard profile. We have only some extent to edit it. We will see that what are the information that we can edit in the standard profile. Now note, standard profiles, we cannot remove the standard profiles. We cannot remove the standard profile from the organization. From the organization, I cannot remove it. Can you go on mute? Thank you. So standard profiles are, we cannot remove the standard profile from the organization because these are added by the Salesforce by default within the organization. Those are predefined, which is provided by the Salesforce. Now I cannot delete the standard profiles. I cannot delete the standard profiles. And coming to the custom profile. What is a custom profile? Custom profile is nothing but, now I'll come to this before, let's understand what is the standard profiles here. Okay. Okay, so the standard profiles are, we can design a standard profile to the user, but the problem is that there is no fully editable. Standard profiles are only some extent I can do it. I cannot edit everything. That means what are the options are available inside the profile? All options, we cannot customize it. We cannot customize it. Now let's go to the Salesforce setup, and after clicking on the setup, search for the profile here. Search for profiles. Now inside this profile, these all are standard profiles. Now how do I know which one is the standard profile? There are multiple are there. Now how do I know which all are standard, which all are custom? Wherever the checkbox is not there, that means these are the standard. That means these are standard profiles. These are standard profiles. Now, analytics cloud integration is a standard profile. Analytic cloud integration user is a standard profile, predefined profile provided by the Salesforce. Now, standard profiles also has the edit, clone, view user. Now, when I say edit, but it has a edit up to the some extent. Now I can edit custom app setting, connected apps access, tab setting. Okay. And then I do not have access to edit the administrative permissions. So standard profiles do not have access to administrative permissions. And it does not have access to the general user or permissions. And it does not has access to edit the standard object permissions. Right? And I cannot edit the custom objects permission. And I cannot edit the platform event permissions. Right? So these informations I cannot edit inside the standard profile. Standard profile has the edit access, but only few things that I can access. Most of the things which are related to the object, custom object, platform event, I cannot edit. And moreover, the permissions I cannot edit. About the general user permissions, administrative permission, I cannot edit. Only some of the options can be editable. Remaining options are not editable. Those are purely on read only. I cannot, those are purely on the read only state. I cannot edit this. For example, I have a custom object. Okay. I have a custom object. If I wanted to grant a permissions on these features. Okay. If the option is not allowing to edit, then how can we grant the access, or how can we grant the permission of this feature to the user Salesforce? Right? That's the reason Salesforce suggests us to develop our own profile. By cloning the existing one. When we develop our own profile, which is nothing but a custom profile. Develop our own profile is nothing but custom profile. Now inside the custom profile, what is a custom profile? The Salesforce admin, only admin can create a custom profile. No other person will be creating it. Salesforce admin, or I can say developer. Developer can create their own custom profiles. How they can create it? By cloning an existing one. Right? Only admin and developer can create a custom profile. Now let's take an example of bank. If you wanted to create a new user inside the bank, inside the bank, we have a separate team who are admin team, development team, support team, services team. Everybody will be there in the bank. Now, in case if I wanted to raise a account, or I wanted to create an account in the bank, right? So I need to go to the respective team where their responsibility is to create a account by getting all the information of personal and the documentation, all other information. They will take it and they will create it, right? Same here, we have a custom profile. Whenever we are creating the custom profile, only Salesforce admin team, that means whoever is having the Salesforce license, whoever is the administrator is there, or the developer can create a custom profile by cloning the existing, cloning the existing one. Now, custom profiles can be fully editable. Custom profiles are fully editable. Can be fully editable because I am the owner of it. I have created the custom profile. I'm the owner of it, and I can also remove it. In case if I see that tomorrow nobody is using the profile, nobody using the custom profile, so I can remove that. I can remove the custom profile. Right? So custom profile will have a full access and I'm the owner of it. I can play with the custom profile. So that's the reason it is always recommended by Salesforce to create a custom profile, to create a custom profile, to create a custom profiles and assign the custom profile to the user. Assign the custom profile to the users. It is always recommended by the Salesforce, you better create a custom profile, because tomorrow if you start using the standard profile, tomorrow there is a possibility that you have to extend the license or you have to restrict the license, right? If you wanted to extend the license using the standard permissions or extend the permission for the user, using the standard profile, we cannot do it. I cannot extend the permissions once I assign a standard profile to the user. So that's the reason what they will say is create your own custom profile by taking the existing one. Whichever the profile you think, create a new custom profile, which is a copy of that. So that what will happen, you have a full access, whether restrict or extend the permission, everything in administrator hand or everything in the developer hand. So they can either edit, remove it later, whatever they wanted to do, they can do it. Right? Now, what is the navigation here? How can I go to the profile?
Setup, search for profiles.
Setup, search for profile. And then how can we identify the standard and custom profile?
So if there is a check, if the checkbox is active, then it is a custom profile. If there is no checkbox, then it is a standard.
Custom field within the profile is going to tell us whether it is a custom profile or standard profile. Standard profile, which is going to tell us whether it is a custom profile or standard profile. Now, if I go here, okay, now this custom field is going to decide or tell us whether it is a custom. That means if it is a checkbox here, that means this is a custom profiles. If there is no checkbox, then these are standard profiles. Okay, standard profile will have edit and clone. That's it. It does not have any other. Edit and clone. Actions are only I can do edit or clone. Whereas if I create a custom profile, I can also delete it. I can delete, I can clone, I can edit. Right? So this is the profile names and these are the user license. Here, if you see, each profile is connected to the license. Each profile is connected to the license. Now, if I go to the charter external user profile, so here I have a license called charter external. One profile is linked to the one license. One profile is linked to the one license, but license can be linked to the multiple profiles. License can be linked to the multiple profiles. One license org is linked to the multiple profile. Profile is linked to the license one-to-one. So here, if you say each profile will have a license. Without license, we cannot create a profile. Without license, we cannot create a profile. Without license, I cannot create a profile. Now, when we go to the profile, we know what are the options we can edit and we can restrict, right? Also, inside the profile, I can able to view what are the flows that this whoever is using this profile, what are the flows that they can access? What are the Apex classes that they can access? What are the Visual Force pages that they can access? Right? What is the custom metadata they can access? What is the custom settings they can access? Right? These all information I can see. Also, I can see the profile level login IP ranges. In case if I want login IP ranges should be between some IP, because I know my developer what are the IPs they are using it, what are the IP ranges they are using it. If I wanted to restrict, anybody to use this org, what I can do is I can create a login IP range. So only between those login IP ranges only we can give access to this org. Only those IP ranges we can give access to those. We cannot, that means sometimes what happens is in the company, they will give a one virtual machine, it kind of a machine. I mean, some laptop they will give it, but that laptop we have to use it only within the office. Only within the office we have to use. So that time what will happen, we know what are the IP ranges that we are going to supposed to use. What is the IP ranges the developers are going to use it. In that situation, what they will do is they will restrict if somebody is accessing this or from outside of this company or outside of this IP ranges. I wanted to restrict that. I wanted to restrict. I do not want it to somebody calling this org. So in that case, I can restrict the login IP access. Now, coming to here, how can I create a profile? Profile is I can create it using the new profile. I can create using the new profile, right? By clicking on this new profile, what will happen if I click on this new profile? It will ask you what is the existing profile and what is a user license. I can see all the profiles here. I can see all the profiles here. Starting of the standard to the custom. I can see the customs also, I can see. Everything I can see. Along with that, I can also see the licenses. If I check a charter field user, the license gets updated. If I take something Salesforce, if I take a standard user, it is going to update the license. Now, how do I know that the standard user is linked to the user license? We can cross verify in the profiles. When we go to the profiles, we can check what are the existing licenses we have and which profile does it has a Salesforce license. If I go to the profiles, Now I can filter out based on the license, right? So I can see who all are having the Salesforce license. Okay, there are some standard object, standard profiles and custom profiles. Everybody is using the Salesforce. What is the standard? Standard is system administrator is there as well as the standard user is there. So I can take a system administrator as well as a standard user. Either one should fine. Either one should be fine. So we can take the existing one and we can create it, right? And if you want to create our own list view, like I can create my own list view to separate the standard profile view and to separate the custom profile view. I can separate it. Now, how many profiles I have? 38 profiles I have. 38 profiles I have. 38 profiles I have. Right? And how these licenses are coming here? These licenses are given by the profile when the org is created. Along with the license, they will give some free profiles. They will give some free profiles. Okay. So till this point, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tomorrow we will cover how to create a profile, how to create a user, and how to link the user to profile and how to edit the user. Now today we have covered how to create a profile, how to edit the profile, and inside the profile level, okay, if you wanted to see who all users are assigned to the profile, we can click on view users. If you click on a view users, you can see who all are assigned to this particular profile. Right? Any profile, whether you take a standard profile, whether you take a custom profile. Let's go to the custom profile. Inside the custom profile also, we have these three options are available. Delete is the extra one because I have created this profile only for the one which I created, or only the one which has a custom profile, those have a delete option. Standard will not have a delete option. Apart from that, edit, clone, view users is same. Apart from that, edit, clone, view users are same. Right? So once you open the profile on the top level, you can see what is the license that is applied and whether it is a custom profile or not, you can see this information. So on this custom profile, you will be having a full access, everything you can edit it. Everything you can edit, standard objects, custom objects, permissions, everything you can edit. You will have a complete access. Administrative permissions, everything we can have access. All the permissions will be available. Right? And if you wanted to know who are assigned to this profile, click on the view users, you can see the view user permissions. Rest, everything is same, only the access level, it is different. Now profile decides objects, fields, tabs. Permissions are objects, fields, tabs, record types, and some admin permissions and general permissions. Right? That is what is the restriction. Permission restriction is object, field, record type, tab, and admin permission, general permission, password policies, and login IP ranges. What is the profile controls?
Object, field, record types, tabs.
Tabs.
Profile controls objects, tabs,
Field,
fields,
fields, record types,
record types,
administrative permissions.
tabs, and also some of the apps it is going to control it, and admin. What are the other two? Other two is
ID print.
administrative permissions, general permissions, login IP ranges, password policies. As well as along with
Login and logout time also, I guess.
login and logout time that comes into the user level.
Okay.
Apex and Visual Force pages. What are the Visual Force pages? They can see custom settings, can control the custom settings, and can control the custom metadata. What are the custom metadata they can see? Right, these are the information which can be controlled by this. Session settings, I cannot, I guess, let's edit this. Session settings, okay, I have, how long do I want to enable the session? Like if I am away. So right now I kept it is after 2 hours inactivated. You remember we were discussing about on saving the record. It is also one of the part is Salesforce is going to look at whether my session is active or not. One of the option is session ID. Based on this session ID, on click of the save button. For example, I'm creating a new record and I clicked on a save button on the account. Along with, there are so many things like it is going to get the form data, requested page URL. Along with that, it is also one of the option is session ID. So it is also going to check the session ID. So where it is going to cross verify, here it is going to cross verify. So I said 2 hours, after 2 hours inactivate it. If you want to keep it 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 8 hours, that is up to you. But when you give the session settings, it is going to applicable for the multiple users because one profile is connected to all the users. If one user does not want that session settings and one user want session settings, we cannot apply it. Right? It has to be have a discussion with all the users who are using the profile. Based on that, we have to give a timeout for the session. Right, so that is about the record profiles. We'll discuss more about the profiles tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay then, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.